Alright, and welcome back. Continuing to work on the right aileron. Now I'm getting ready to make the skins, both top and bottom. First step of that is taking the stock and final drilling all the holes to size 40. And then the instructions are going to have you mark out basically the cutout lines to form the angles for these stiffeners. These aren't even really ribs. These are more of just stiffeners. They don't actually connect to each other when you assemble the aileron. They just simply rivet in place and, like I said, just act as stiffeners between the spar and the trailing edge. So you see me here, I'm cutting out the pieces. It has you, like I said, take a straight edge and mark from two specific little notches. And then you cut specific lengths, and you want to make sure, obviously, you're double checking all of your measurements. Like I've said before, I've got a digital micrometer. It really helps to measure out the decimal point millimeter measurements and things like that. So if you don't have one, I'd highly recommend it. It's not expensive. I think it was like 15 bucks over at Lowe's, but it's a tremendous help. So here I'm getting the top skin for the right aileron ready. As you can see, I've got the end ribs attached here. I'm getting ready to back rivet this and all of the stiffeners in place. I talked to a lot in the previous videos. I talked to how I wanted, you need to really make sure that you're using the right parts and that you're countersinking the right face of the parts. It makes a note in the instructions several times from what I recall, and I did end up a few times riveting the wrong, or not riveting, but countersinking the wrong side, and luckily I had another piece, so I just used that for the other side and set it aside. But just make sure as you're going through that you're attaching these, these stiffeners. Make sure you're putting them in the right direction, and that you're really paying attention. Especially, like I said, I've started on the right side. All the instructions are written for the left, so you end up having to really pay attention to the mirror effect. So anyway, fast forwarding now, I'm working on the lower skin. And again, placing all the stiffeners in place. And as you can see there's no actual holes on the part of the stiffeners that come up away from the skin, so it doesn't actually attach to each other. If you recall from the rudder, they had something similar to this, where you had two halves of the ribs, each half attached to the skin on either side, and you ended up riveting them together as you peeled the skin together, so to say. That's not the case for the ailerons. So now I'm getting ready to attach the top skin to the spar for the leading edge. And as you can see here, basically it just has you cleco everything in place, and then you'll flip it around and do the same thing for the bottom skin. Now as I start to put this piece in, there's a couple parts where it wedges into the spar and lines up, but as I go to put in that second cleco, you notice I stopped and started looking around. I noticed that the holes didn't match up. So now I'm trying to figure out what the hell. And I was looking to see, maybe I put it upside down, maybe I put the stiffeners up on, in the wrong direction. And suffice to say, I've come to realize here that while I'm working on the right aileron, I made a left bottom skin, and that's what I'm confirming here with the other spar. So there's a particular side that has two holes close together, and you want to make sure that you line those up with the correct side of the rib when you're getting your skins together. So fortunately, like I said, I was able to just use it as the left bottom skin and then pulled the other skin out and made another right bottom skin, and this time I made sure I lined it up correctly. So I skipped over all that part of remaking all the stiffeners and all that kind of stuff, so this is the end result. So attaching the bottom skin here, and finally something that looks similar to an aileron. So in this video, I'm just going to close this up with attaching the two skins together. The next video will be basic closing everything out, and I'll be done with the right aileron. So again, thanks for watching these videos. If you get a chance, hit that like button for me. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell button, and you'll get a notification every time I put one of these videos out. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.